the board for the sake of one.
The question you said was, what happened if they call it contact?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. I sat on two boards with the same issue. One was for Mr. Sheldon 2 years ago, and one was for another resident. So I think I'm familiar with the law. However, Mr. Sheldon, you asked why we have to do this again this year. Maybe
No,
we don't-
I apologize, that was meant to you. I'm pretty sure I know exactly why we have to do it
Well,
again.
okay, why we had to do it was because things change. The information you provide may not suffice. This board may change its opinion. People come and go. Laws change. I did check with the Board of Elections before we convened, and they told me that they still have the same guidelines, same questions. I'm to ask the same questions. Nothing's changed as far as they're concerned. I did ask if they were busy, and they told me yes, and they're busy on this topic. Somebody was on vacation, and there was only one man manning the phones, and he said this is the topic that they're busy on because they get the same question over and over. So we're not the only boards, we're not the only ones that have this issue. And I asked him what he thought, again, as I did 2 years ago. And so it's the same guy, one of the two guys that I dealt with. He happens to be the executive director of the Board of Elections. Now, they can't tell me what to do or how to vote, but they can give me some guidelines because ultimately we may have to go before them. You may have to go before them. There may be an appeal on whichever way we go tonight, so they can't tell me too much. What he did tell me was, did you, in essence, well, I asked him the question because 2 years ago, Bob Reporter said to me, it's however they put themselves out as. I remember that distinctly. Well, however he puts himself out as, that's where he can vote. So I asked him, well, what does that mean? And at the time, well, it's prima facie evidence. And that is listed here. Mr. Lewis, that's listed here on your 17.1.3.1. And I know that at the top you had said that a person's residence for voting purposes is his or her fixed and established domicile. The determinant of one's domicile is that person's factual, physical presence in the voting district on a regular basis, incorporating an intention to reside for an indefinite period. Then it goes on to say, a person can only have one domicile. And it was explained to me that you can't vote in 2 states. If you put yourself out in Connecticut, you can't vote in Rhode Island. If you put yourself out in Rhode Island, you can't vote in Connecticut. Only one or the other. So it goes on to say that a person can only have one domicile, and the domicile shall not be considered lost solely by reasons of absence, but any of the following reasons. So we ask the questions. 17.1.3.1b says the following shall be considered prima facie evidence of a person's residence for voting purposes. So I asked the questions after B, prima facie evidence. I asked registry of motor vehicles. Where were they registered? Your driver's license. Where did you file your last federal income tax return? Where did you file your last state tax return? These are all things under B, prima facie evidence of a person's residence for voting purposes. And I went on to, you heard me, I asked them all. So this is what I did 2 years ago. I'm inclined to say that I feel the same way as I did 2 years ago. That although the law is not perfect, we have to abide by the law. This is how I see the law. I read it this way. I asked guidance from the Board of Canvassers, the Board of Elections. I got some guidance from him. that I was going down the right path. Yes, Bob, you're doing the right thing again, you're going down the right path. I said, you know, years ago, it used to be wherever you hang your head or you lay your head on your bed, that's where your residence was and that's where you had to vote. And he said, it's not that way now. You can't run around counting heads on beds. And that's what he said. So, I'm inclined to make a motion that we have to uphold what we see before us, what we have here in law. 17.1.3.1, prima facie evidence. We asked the questions. They both answered the questions satisfactory as far as the way they put themselves out in the state of Rhode Island. So I would make a motion that we deny the objection to both Mr. Sheldon's objection to candidacy and Mrs. Sheldon's objection to candidacy. And I ask for a second.
Second.
So that first.
Sorry.
You? Ready?
I think it was her. I'm not sure. One on the tape?
No.
Just,
So, all those in favor of denying the objection to the candidacy for Mr. and Mrs. Sheldon, denying, please signify by saying aye.
to deny.
Denying the objections to their candidacy, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? No, you repeat it. Are you opposed? Okay,
We
I'll
were.
reword it. All right. If you vote yes, it will deny the objections. The objection letter that we got, the objection notice that we got, it will deny the objection and allow them to run it. If you vote yes to deny it. If you vote no, well, I'll stop there.
Yes.
Yes, we vote to deny the objection, to be clear?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Whitcomb, just,
Yes.
you had three, I just don't want you to leave anything undone. I don't know if you needed to take action. You explained to Mr. Lewis about objecting to the signatures. Do you need a motion for that as well? You had three items. I just don't want you to put
Good
it in.
question. I don't know if we think we need a motion on the objection to nomination signatures. Yes.
I understand your explanation on the signatures, and I'm leaving here with the understanding that unless I file additional paperwork, that has been denied.
That has been denied as well?
You may want to have a motion.
That the objection has been denied?
Yes,
You
yes.
understand? Just so we'll be clear, let's have the motion. So that we, I'll ask for a motion that we deny the objection for rechecking of the nomination signatures as well. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Like a big motion to adjourn.
All those in second? Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Again.